Hey y'all, this is Norsis. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Yes, finally. I'm a bit sweaty today actually, I'm gonna shower today again. It wasn't that long a while since I showered, but last time basically, or the previous time as well, the deodorant that I had were very little left of, so the deodorant didn't help much because it was almost empty, the deodorant, so I had to get a new one, which I basically got, So basically today basically I woke up a pretty long time ago, and I thought, I'm gonna clean it for today because I didn't clean it yesterday because it didn't seem like there's not that much dust at all this time. And it's just weird because sometimes there's a lot of dust after just 1 week, and sometimes it's just hardly any dust at all. It seems random. It kind of seems to be like how much, like if I play a lot of PC games, then that seems to generate a lot of dust, to the actual electronics themselves, that are a magnet to dust, or all the dust collects in like one place and stuff like that. But yeah, so so I had plans to vacuum clean today, after eating downstairs. I had plans to vacuum clean and then go and take a shower after that and then start recording. But of course they had to downstairs. Basically they were like eating some some fika, which is a thing here in Swedish. Basically you often drink coffee or some soda or something, or some juice or whatever, and then you basically have some dessert and stuff like that, and then basically after that he had to go to and get some alcohol for the food they were gonna eat to the Systembolaget, and then after that he needed to take a shower, so I couldn't like go into the shower, because he would just need to go there, and then he needed to take a shower, and then like everything collided, so I couldn't do that, even though I got done with the food, and making the food took a while to do as well, although I'm gonna eat something else later as well, which is like earlier in the morning. I'm gonna eat something as well, and stuff like that. But anyway, and I also got yesterday I got the Guinness World Record book. It wasn't actually 2007, which I said in the previous video in the description. I think I said it all in the comments, maybe, but it was actually from 2008. The book was from. But it's pretty good, because there's a lot of stuff to read in it, and it was very cheap. Actually, my feet are really hurting. I had to wear the socks before, and actually, if you walk around a lot and you don't like sit down very much, if you just walk around a lot and then you don't sit for a really long time, then your heels, or not the heels really, but the bottom of your foot basically, where you have your thing, whatever you call that, whatever you call it in English, by the way. So yeah. But anyway, we're gonna continue Final Fantasy VII. So I've done a list now of the Fort Condor battles, but I'm also gonna be using the list for what you need to play on the piano. The thing is actually when we get to the flashback, which we're gonna go to shortly, I think we're gonna grind a bit more in the cave and then hopefully avoid the Midgar solo fight on their way out. Or I might try and get beta at this point. The thing is though that it's often better to get beta later. The main problem is of course that to get a second enemy skill you need to be dressed up as or you need to be dressed up as the Sinrampi to basically get in, and once you're a Sinrampi you cannot really leave the base, because if you try to leave the base and you go down, you actually learn that Sinrampi, if you try to leave basically by taking the elevator down after you've done after you've done the whole marching and thing like that, like after you've done that, if you try to go back to basically to like exit where the elevator is, then it says, oh, it's not our shift yet. So basically the guy you took the uniform from, which you can actually encounter later on, by the way, the guy whose uniform you took, you can find out that he was supposed to be one of the guards that are for the elevator, which is pretty interesting. There's a lot of scenes that you might not get if you do certain things in the game, and stuff like that, which is quite interesting. I know I've talked on for a while, so we're gonna get started now. You know, we're gonna get started. So I have written down here. Well, you need to play in the Nibelheim thing, by the way, which is you need to press X, square, triangle, L1 plus triangle, L1 plus square, or R1 also works like R1 plus triangle and R1 plus square. That is X square triangle, L1 plus X, circle, X, or cross. You could call it cross also because X is cross, because you know cross slash, you know, X slash, circle, cross, square, cross, or X. I mean, so the last four things after the R1 and X, which you press, you hold on R1 and I press X, is circle, X, square, X basically. And if you play it if you're on disc 2 and you play it, you actually get elemental materia, if I'm not mistaken, according to my old notes. I actually used to have similar notes when I lived back in the old place and stuff like that. We are on, yeah, that's the save, right? Yeah, it is, because it actually remembers what save we were on last time. And of course, next this save we're gonna be using up until we get Yuffie basically. And of course, this though I haven't been able to train anything, because the thing is normally when I speedrun, I try and get a certain thing in the Uno thing when you are on the parade, when you are marching. If you get high enough score, you actually get 10,000 gil right away, which is very, very important when you speedrun. If you don't get it when you speedrun, there are like backup strats, which is basically, I believe, is to grind for certain items, or grind a bit extra in certain places and stuff like that when you speedrun. But of course, when you speedrun this version, you can use remove encounters altogether. But anyway, we're going to continue on here. And so, yeah, we did get last time right, we had gotten Fury on Barrett. And of course, on Lobos Platt, you don't really need to have anything on him, and neither on Chloe. The thing is, technically, if we equip, if we would change here and we would have elemental here, for example, here on the bottom on the armor, and we would equip fire, for example, we could basically half our fire damage right now, and that is a very, very good way to be able to learn the enemy skill beta. But the thing is, normally it's better to learn beta when you get back here with the buggy, which is why I mentioned the whole thing about that you cannot leave the Union place once you go inside, basically as an MP, then you cannot leave the place after that basically. And actually the first Fort Condor battle is not in between mine. The second one is basically after you fight the boss, but before you enter the water. Mr. Offense, so directly basically when you have slept and when the party is separate and you have picked up Shiva, basically you can immediately go and get the second Fort Condor battle. And then the third one, you basically just enter the water where the dolphin is, and she tells you, oh, you need to jump up here. But then if you leave, which I believe you don't need to do anything special to leave. I don't hope there is like you have to press something to leave, or you need to like fail or whatever, because there's, or maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need to actually get electrocuted in order to actually leave the area. But we're gonna have to see how that goes basically. So yes, we're gonna go inside the mines again, and of course we're gonna, you know, try and get some stuff done. Yeah, see, this is the normal speed of the game, which is, it's actually not really true, because it actually runs slower than the regular game, I think. And of course you can walk with this as well, you know, which is quite interesting. But yeah, we're gonna of course try and go back to the spot where you normally go. You can see how much slower the game feels when you like do things normally. We're gonna be using mathematic there, and then we're gonna probably, let me see here, yeah, nice. I mean, we don't need to kill some Barrett, but you know, but you can see how slow it feels. Like that's the thing, like I often get used to, or no, not that button. The other thing is basically to make you insta refill, but you know, makes getting stuff like Common Slash on disc 1 makes it easier. and stuff like that. So we're gonna mathematic again. Let's take the difference on one ones here. The interesting thing is, of course, his weapons are actually supposed to be the things around his ankles, basically. It's supposed to be what Red 13's weapons actually is, you know. Which is a bit weird, you know. But yeah. So we got to restore now to level 2, yes. And that means basically at the point where you get lightning up to level 3 and you get like fire up to level 3. And that's up to level 3 at around the same time you get regen, basically. And regen is of course very, very broken. The thing that makes it broken is just because of the way that when you have weight on, like here, because we changed the weight, mostly because of the snake, but yeah. But I think it's also that the snake is easier to fight when you run the speed at normal speed instead of 3 times speed. Because normally you always get time to heal in between the snake's attack. But sometimes the snake can attack 2 times quick in a row, basically. I know I should be actually stealing from that as well. You actually see some pretty decent XP also here with 252 XP, you know. I think it's normally what you need, otherwise, if you aren't sadnessed up, you need at least about 1000 HP to survive beta. You can actually take very low damage from beta if you're equipped with the right material, like if you have the damage. Okay, so we got satellite beam. I forgot how many times we used it last time, but satellite beam is like Barrett has to use his limit breaks the most amount of times to get his next one. And I think that has to do with him being angry all the time or something like that. Like there's basically a reason for why Barrett has it. And if I remember correctly, you don't see it now. Basically right now Red 13 has the lowest luck, but the thing is actually the reason why they call him blah 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 walking death sentence, why they call Barrett that is kind of because of reason. I'm gonna check something though. I don't think it would zoom in this like late. No, it does not. It looks like you can see the whole screen. Sometimes it's really hard to tell though, because of the thing the little screen shows here, which I can see is less. And I know, yes, I took like, and there you can see the window isn't even open there yet when I paused that boy. Basically paused in one of the earlier frames. It's actually easier to get the frames right when you actually play with higher speed for some weird reason. I don't know why that is, you know, but yeah. Game. It doesn't take that long actually to get on Red 13. And Blood Fang is actually pretty fucking, or pretty good. Pretty fucking good. Because it attacks and drains whole HP and MP from opponent, and it actually drains quite a significant amount. You know, it's quite interesting. And of course, by the time often when you get kids, it. So now actually we should have a hyper on Lobos Plot. And we should be... I'm actually gonna wait actually here. Because I mean we can use all twice basically, something we can do. Alright, we're in the menu there, so I can just pause basically when I need to be here. Which is the good thing with weight, you know, as long as you're in a menu, you know, it can process. I might even actually use the code 2 this time around, because that's the only thing we're really using close. MP4 here. Even though a cure 1 can almost heal us fully, basically, I'm going to be using code 2 and try. Actually, they're spreading out attacks really well, which is actually rare that they do. Okay, we should be using Bloodfang actually. Let's hurry up and try and use it or something. I wanted to use it on the middle guy, but yeah, now we use Q2. And I was a bit late on that. But it was perfect. I think we need to use it something like 8 or 9 times or something like that. Or actually, there we go, Max. And of course we cannot be PHS at this point, because you know we haven't gotten it. So now basically you don't need to get any more kills on Barrett. Basically, so that beat IMAX. We're actually gonna send this map. Do we have? Yes, we have enough tranquilizers. We send us them up. we have it's actually pretty chill in here now because I haven't had the computer on because I ate downstairs because I'm reading a Guinness book. And it's also really interesting. Like the last Guinness book that I had before this one was from 2010. So yeah, the previous one was 8 years ago, pretty much. Oh, it's just quite insane, you know, to think about, you know. That's the thing that you can't really abuse when you get primitive strike on the opponent. Really that well, when you get a back attack on the opponent, which is basically kind of what... Like, I mean, primitive strike is not always a back attack, if I remember correctly. Primitive strike is just that you attack first. Oh yeah, but they're always facing the other way, right, when you do that, but yeah. But basically, getting to use that to your advantage when you're playing with the increased speed is not really gonna happen, but yeah. I think though it's pretty funny how basically Cure is 5 MP, this is 24. So basically, like, yes, Cure 2 is gonna be better if you're really low on health, but I think it's 2 Cures is basically just as good as a single Cure 2 at this point, but